Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk. I'm back in Sussex and I'm in Twineham, got to get that right, Twineham, Twineham, the homestead between two rivers. I'm going to take I think it's about 4 or 5 mile walk, and I'm going to take you with me. I'm starting here by St Peter's Church, which is in the village of Twineham, which is, I suppose, in mid-Sussex. It's actually West Sussex, but it's sort of near Burgess Hill, about 5 miles from Burgess Hill, and just a stone's throw from the A23, the London to Brighton road. And I'm starting here at this church, which is a lovely brick church. I don't really know that much about it, I'm sorry to say. It's got a shingled spire, it's got a chancel, it's got a nave, and then it's got its tower. But the interesting thing, two things I've already spotted. One, there's no yew tree in the graveyard, but there is a very old and very venerable oak tree, which is just behind me in actual fact. The other thing that's interesting is there's a Quaker burial ground. Apparently it's been here since 1694 and they pay a peppercorn rent. There's about 60 graves in here, and it's left, as you can see, with wild grass all over it. Absolutely fascinating. Anyway, I haven't got time to look at it too much because I'm going to crack on with my walk. Come on. Just looked up into the sky. What was supposed to be a nice sunny day has turned out to be a bit overcast, and there's a bit of a chilly wind, so I just doubled back to the car and put my little hoodie jumper thing on. Anyway, I think we'll crack on. The sun is shining though. So I've come out into a field, the first stage of my walk, which is this beautiful meadow. And I've just noticed, one of the things I want to do is to learn more about the wild flowers so I can tell you what they are. And I've just seen some here. There's a couple of patches of what I think is called eggs and bacon. And I've seen them when they've been very, very titchy on another walk. But these are, well, I suppose they're about 6 inches tall. There's a great clump of them. And there's lots of butterflies and things looking at them and, you know, doing what they do, which is great. Anyway, I carry on this. Now I feel too hot, by the way. Now I put my jumper on. You can't win, can you? We follow this until we get to a footpath over a stream, so that'll be interesting. Oh, hang on. Now let's grab one of these. I don't know what this is. But you see them in the field everywhere, and I believe that you're supposed to be able to eat the leaves. I'm not going to try that. It's interesting. I think it's dog rose in the hedgerow here. It's lovely to see. I'm filming in June, I should say that, and we're lined with some beautiful oak trees. It's great. I think there's the footbridge, which is great. Very excited now. I've been walking through a whole load of this long grass, and we've had rain recently, and already my walking boots are covered in water, but luckily they're quite waterproof. This is June, so it's quite changeable weather really at the moment. Well, now let's have a look at my OS map that I brought with me, and if I consult this I can see that there is a stream just to the north of Twineham. There's a number of these little sort of brooks, I suppose. There's one to the north and there's one to the south, which is, I suppose, the homestead between the two streams, which is what Twineham is supposed to mean from what I gather. And they carry on to the west and then form, as they combine, the River Adur, which goes down to Upper Beeding and then down into through Lewis and Lewis is the Ouse, comes out at Shoreham. One's got to get one's facts right. I think they're right. Right, so crossing the bridge, we're carrying on towards a village called Wineham. Twineham to Wineham. I don't know how many people use this path. It is quite overgrown. So I've come along the side of the field that I was going. I've come up a little lane where you get some views, wonderful views actually, of the South Downs, which has been really good. The sun is out, I'm getting very hot. And then there's a property, a couple of properties actually, which are just off the path. Then the path takes this right-hand turn down this lane, which I think is a bit overgrown, but we'll persevere. I don't know whether I'm pleased or not pleased that I wore shorts today. My legs are exposed and I've been stung several times by stinging nettles. My socks are soaking wet because the grass here is all holding water. This path clearly hasn't been walked down for a long time, although there are signs actually that somebody has been here fairly recently. But the thing is, I think that we have to make sure we get out onto these paths and walk along them, because if we don't, they become all overgrown, and then it's assumed that people don't want to walk them, don't want to have them, and you know, by osmosis I suppose the landowner encroaches on them and soon they disappear. So it's absolutely vital that we try and penetrate through these overgrown paths when we come across them. Very important. Oh, looks like I'm coming out. Oh, that was like going between two hedges. Well, I'm coming out here now to a property, and I think, according to my map, this should be Grovesland Farm. Earlier I passed, let me just put my bag on my shoulder, which I've got my camera stuff in so I can go through the gate. I went past Twineham Grange, which was a very impressive mock Tudor building. There's a hearty dog here to welcome me. But this should take me round the farm and various other barns and bits of property, and then I ought to, according to the map, get to another lane, as in a road lane. There's somebody here. Hello. Hello. I think I shall leave well alone with the mad rabid dog. I'm sure it's not a mad rabid dog. Actually, it had one of those lampshades around it, so it's probably had an operation of some description. It mustn't lick its wounds, so it's probably not feeling too happy anyway. So this lane here should take me to a road lane, and I head south. So that was okay, public footpath. And I have now arrived. I think this must be Wineham. Very, very picturesque. Nice row of houses up there. But I'm actually just going to walk down this road for a bit until I come to another footpath, which will take me basically back across different fields back to my car in the circular walk. But this is a very, very peaceful area, probably very expensive to live. There's another public footpath here if I wanted to continue, but I don't actually want to do that. Although I have to say it looks very tempting. But I'm going to head down here. Aha, here we are. That there, more or less, I think must be the start of the River Adur. We've got the two streams just a little bit up that way, converge, and then this over this bridge here, which goes over this lane that I'm heading south on, takes you south, and there is the River Adur. And actually, when I was looking on the map for the route, I thought that this lane might be quite busy and, you know, uncomfortable to walk on, but actually I've only seen a handful of cars. Okay, two have come through whilst I've filmed this bit, but I'm going to go up here a bit more and then I turn left and we start heading back towards Twineham. There wasn't really that much to see at Wineham. Just pause for a moment as I pass this house here. There's a terrific conker tree here, a horse chestnut, and just looking here at the beginnings of the horse chestnuts, the conkers in their little, what do you call them, husks, I suppose, the spiky husks. As I said before, we're in June, so it's interesting to see the progress of how they grow. It's just quite small at the moment, and they'll soon ready up. Now here we go. Two ways I could go, that way or this way. I know it's this way because I've just consulted my map. So came off the road where the river went under the bridge, obviously went past some particularly lovely looking farmhouses. They were rather gorgeous, and then this was quite weird. I've never seen this before. There was a hexagonal construction building with some form of turntable, or well, I don't know what you would describe it. It had horses in, and they were being walked automatically round in a circle, and I think there was a bar that went round like this. I've never seen anything, so not really a turntable on the ground, but you know, like a well. In the old days, used to have a mule that would turn a spindle to lift up water. It's a bit like that, but I don't think they're being worked. I think this is purely exercise, so it's a good thing. But I've never seen anything like that before, so that's interesting. And then I've just come down this path, and now I'm going to come along here and basically back to the car, hopefully. So the rest should be pretty plain sailing. Hopefully no more of this business. Right, that way. It's interesting actually, because I saw just, and I came through the gate just now, and with the multiple signs, that this bit is it's a bridle path, but there's a lot of people here who have horses, and the sign actually is a polite notice to say that the bridle path has been recently improved, and it's very nice. It's lovely in grass, and it just advises people to walk their horses along here rather than gallop and trot, because it will churn up the ground. And I guess it's clay, and probably, you know, in the rain and stuff will be very not suitable for walkers and mountain bikers, cyclists as well, who can have access on public bridleways. And I think that's important that horse riders do know that. Obviously vehicles probably are also not able to churn up the ground. That's another thing that's a bit of a pet hate. Right, gosh, it's interesting again. Another reason why these footpaths are so imperative that we walk them. I've just come through a couple of fields up there, following the footpath on the map, and the farmer had put in a new fence. Clearly the footpath was supposed to cross this fence and then another fence, but there were two of these fences with a 50-foot gap into another field or so, and no way to get across them other than climb over or go through. So I did that, and both of them. On the other side, public footpath sign, clearly pointing the way I'd come. But if you'd come from the other side, you'd be thinking the same. How do you get through? So you know, clearly people don't come down here. And then I'm in this field of long grass. I've just perceptibly found the path, but I was looking for the path. There was no path for ages. And I saw a fox just casually stroll out the grass in front of me, which gave me a bit of a fright. But now I've come to a lane here, and I think it's pretty plain sailing, thank goodness. And the clouds are gathering. I think it's going to rain, so I'm going to get to my car as swiftly as possible. Well, there we go. I'm done. I finished it. I went past a farm, and then here I am. Well, that's all we've got time for, really. I'm going to take my boots off and wind my way home. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you wish. That would be great. Always love to read them. And why not become a patron and support what we do? A little bit of money thrown at me, you know, price of a cup of coffee once a month is a real help. Puts petrol in the car and gets me out and about. Anyway, that's all we've got time for. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.